see that same bright star. Mele Kalikimaka is the thing to say on a bright Hawaiian Christmas day. That's the island greeting that we send to you from the land where palm trees sway. Here we know that Christmas will be green and bright, the sun to shine by day and all the stars at night. Mele Kalikimaka is Hawaii's way to say Merry Christmas to you. Kalikimaka is the thing to say on a bright Hawaiian Christmas day. That's the island greeting that we send to you from the land where palm trees sway. Here we know that Christmas will be green and bright, the sun to shine by day and all the stars at night. Mele Kalikimaka is Hawaii's way to say Merry Christmas, a very Merry Christmas, to say Merry Christmas to you. Aloha Nui Ku'u Ipo, aloha from across the sea. A lay, a kiss, a happy greeting, a lover's melody. Ku'ulei, 'tis heaven dancing near the ocean, beneath the moon and stars above. Aloha Nui Ku'u Ipo, aloha, my love. Aloha Nui Ku'u Ipo, aloha from across the sea. A lay, a kiss, a happy greeting, a lover's melody. Ku'ulei, 'tis heaven dancing near the ocean, beneath the moon and stars above. Aloha Nui Ku'u Ipo, aloha, my love. Fly me to the moon and let me play among the stars. Let me know what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, darling, kiss me. Fill my heart with songs and let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you. Fly me to the moon and let me play among the stars. Let me know what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, darling, kiss me. Fill my heart with song and let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, in other words, in other words, I love you. Let's talk not so much directly skateboarding. I guess it is directly skateboarding. Today I will discuss my good friend, Mr. J. Grant Britton, a little bit. Because he's got a new book called Push that's out now, available. You can buy it from Ginkgo Press. I think it's where you can order it online. I'm waiting for it to show up at McGill's skate shop, and I will buy it from them, and that way I get to support two of my friends. I get to support J. Grant Britton with his new book, and Mike McGill, my longtime friend and former teammate, at his shop. So, you know, shopping local and supporting friends. So today, what I want to share with you is Grant's book from, gosh, it's Reconnecting. Reconnecting, gosh, I'm sorry about that. I don't know why it's doing that to me suddenly. So I will share with you this tidbit. 2003, Grant made a small book of some of his collection of some of his photos. I don't know if you can kind of see the signature there. I know right now it's backwards. The YouTube video will be corrected. But yes, so Grant and AIGA put out this little softcover book, and I don't know how many he made. I'm not sure. I have the postcard from the opening, which is dated sometime in August of 2003. Yeah, so a little postcard to invite us to this kind of private, not really private, it was a lot of people there. But yeah, so of course, you know, famous images like that, and others. And of course, thank you, Grant, for signing it. Oh, thank you, Pumpkin, for suddenly being awake. But yeah, so everything from, you know, his first first image of Kyle Jensen at the Del Mar Skate Ranch. But what's cool is that, you know, alongside the iconic skate imagery, there is some other stuff. Oh yeah, well, more iconic skateboarding photos. But what's really cool is that he also has some of just his photography, just his own photography. So, you know, they forget that Grant is not just a skateboard photographer, but an artist as a photographer, and has a really, really wonderful eye, and just what he captures is just very, very cool. Yeah, I mean, just wonderful work. And I forget, there was one in here. Where does that one? Oh, yeah, that one, of course, the Twin Towers. And this one of my favorites here. Yeah, so I'm happy that, yeah, again, I don't know how many of these he made. A young Zoe. I don't know how many he actually printed up in this run, but I'm happy to have one, and was happy to be there for the opening. I also have, well, just to kind of refresh, I will probably have to go out there in a second here, sorry. My first J. Grant Britton photo ever. Da-da-da-da. I know I've talked about this before. Yep. That is the first photo Grant ever took of me. 1981, April 12th at the Del Mar Skate Ranch. And so Grant at the time was the manager. I don't know, oh man. I don't know that he was still sleeping there. He was for a while living there, sort of like night security and whatnot, and sleeping on the pool table. But I think by that time he was not there. But yeah, so he was the manager, and he would check us all in and collect our dues and session money, and took all the photos of all the skaters for their memberships cards. And so that's when I met him. But you know, it's kind of like, you know, I don't imagine that he set out to be one of the most important skateboarding photographers ever, but certainly well earned with his iconic imagery. And you know, it's more than just, you know, people pointing a camera at a skater doesn't make a photo that captures the energy and the attitude behind the skateboarding. And so sort of that split second thing with lighting and horizon and colors and whatnot, you know, that kind of stuff, that the eye is it's not something that you can just have. And it's definitely cultivated, and you know, you have to have a certain amount of artistic vision, but there's definitely a lot of hard work that goes in behind those photos, and people don't understand that sometimes. But yes, as a skater working with him, I definitely do, and you know, definitely spent many hours with him behind the camera, luckily enough, and you know, it's that thing of like, you don't know, you have to trust your knowledge of the camera and the lighting and whatnot and timing to know whether you got the shot or not back then. And we shot a lot of things, but you know, I don't think that he had to like necessarily shoot that much to get the shot, but he had to be sure, because yeah, if you know, especially if you're shooting an ad and you didn't know back then, that yeah, if you didn't get the shot, you got to go back. Bear with me 1 second. Let me see if I can get her to quiet down. Hold on 1 second. lie down. We'll move this. Sorry. Maybe should be quiet in here. Maybe. We'll find out. Anyway, so, but aside from that, Grant Britton is just a really good friend. And, you know, having known each other for all these decades, we definitely spent a lot of time on the road. And because, you know, Tracker and Transworld, so we're kind of closely tied money-wise, oftentimes we would be on the same flights and going to the contests at the same time. So thankful for that too. And even for like some of the demos, like the big St. Louis demo, I remember traveling with Grant and talking music and talking jazz and whatnot. But always really fun to travel with Grant. He's a really kind of silly sense of humor, and so that we kind of like are very much alike in that. And I've definitely spent a lot of time laughing at his sometimes very silly jokes. But I even remember at one time he looked at me because we were he said something silly and I laughed, and he just kind of looked at me. He says, "Man, you will laugh at anything." And I go, "Yeah, you know what? I'm just a silly person, and I don't mind that." But a couple of things that come to mind traveling with Grant and whatnot, or shooting with Grant. One time we were at the Fallbrook ramp. That's a pretty famous ramp. There's lots and lots of photos. I don't know if I have any photos of that ramp, but lots of things, lots of iconic images were shot there. Because it was a private ramp, and so it was easy to kind of set up private sessions there. But one day, I forget who he was actually shooting, but there was a bunch of us, so he kind of like would shoot, you know, a bunch of things of the session just to have extra photos too. But he's shooting black and white, and at one point he's like decides, I should shoot some color. And so we're just skating, and he's clicking away for about a half hour and or so, and I look across. He's on the deck across the ramp, and I look at him. He looks at his camera, and he goes, "Oh!" Right, and he looks over at us. He's all, "I forgot to put film in the camera." So when he went to shoot color, I think he actually switched cameras, thinking that he put the color film in one and the black and white in the other. But he just started shooting with the other camera, and forgot to put film in there. So yes, everybody has those moments. Even the legendary J. Grant Britton. And then, you know, there's just certain things that kind of stick with me. One time we were flying somewhere, and you know, they always announce this is your captain and whatnot, and the captain was Captain Love. And we both looked at each other at the same time with the same thing kind of in our mind, and he looks at me, he's all, "Ooh, Captain Love." And so we kind of like had painted this picture of what the cockpit looked like for Captain Love. We thought that, you know, maybe there were like beads in the doorway instead of the, you know, traditional door to the cockpit. And then you go in there and there's a bunch of throw pillows and whatnot. You know, Captain Love. So yeah, I don't know why, but that one is sticking with me. Yes, but anyway, I know that's not super exciting stuff, but everyone, yes, J. Grant Britton's book. I wonder if let's take a look. Maybe there's something from the Fallbrook ramp. Probably not, but there's really important images like that one of Mike Smith. But yes, so this one, I think just self-titled. I don't think there's a title to it. Oh, Still, I'm sorry. J. Grant Britton, Still, 1979 to 2003. Yes, and, but yeah, get his new book. I'm going to buy my copy soon as it ends up at McGill's. But mostly, Grant, thank you for the decades of continued friendship, and it's great to just still be so close to somebody that was part of my life that really kind of defined who I am, and so to have somebody there that also, not only was sort of like this figure of he's more important than me, and so that kind of respect I've always had for him, and but then just in encouragement. In fact, we had a long-standing joke because I kind of had this tendency, whenever he pointed the camera at me, I would bail or fall, and so it got to the point, and it was so frustrating for me, and he knew that I was frustrated about it, and so it became this joke between me and Grant. If I would bail on a trick, I'd look up at him, and he's like, "Oh, there were some birds up there. I was taking pictures of," and so that at least I could kind of laugh it off a little bit and not let it weigh too heavy on me, because it definitely, the pressure of trying to get a good shot could be daunting, and especially if it was for something in particular, for an ad or something. You wanted to get the shot, you wanted to get it right, and I didn't want to waste any film. I didn't want to waste this film because I felt bad back then. That's a lot of money. So, but yeah, so he would do that all the time. It's like, I was just taking pictures of those birds over there. I don't know why it keeps cutting out. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, so that was our joke. But I do remember there was a contest in the French Alps, and I was actually having a good week at the contest there. Hi, Jessica. Hi. I wave at you. And he could tell, and I was confident, and things were working. And so he, as I was practicing, and he was there taking pictures, he looked at me. He's all, "Not a bird in sight," and just kind of a nod that he knew that week things were happening, things were on, and I was being successful that week. So thank you, Grant, for that support there. All right, well, yes, so there we are, our story about Grant Britton, my friend, and everybody, please go buy his new book, Push, when you can. Maybe it's much too early in the game. But I thought I'd ask you just the same. What are you doing New Year's? New Year's Eve. Wonder whose arms will hold you good and tight when it's exactly 12 o'clock that night, welcoming in the new year. New Year's Eve. Maybe I'm crazy to suppose I'd ever be the one you chose. Out of 1,000 invitations you receive, but in case I stand one little chance, here comes the jackpot question in advance. What are you doing New Year's? New Year's Eve. Maybe I'm crazy to suppose I'd ever be the one you chose out of 1,000 invitations you receive. Ah, but in case I stand one little chance, here comes the jackpot question in advance. What are you doing New Year's? New Year's Eve. Out in the West Texas town of El Paso, I fell in love with a Mexican girl. Nighttime would find me in Rose's cantina, music would play and Felina would whirl. Blacker than night were the eyes of Felina, wicked and evil while casting her spell. My love was deep for this Mexican maiden, I was in love but in vain I could tell. One night a wild young cowboy came in, wild as the West Texas wind. Dashing and daring, a drink he was sharing with wicked Felina, the girl that I loved. So in anger I challenged his right for the love of his maiden. Down went his hand for the gun that he wore. My challenge was answered in less than a heartbeat. The handsome young stranger lay dead on the floor. Just for a moment I stood there in silence, shocked by the foul evil deed I had done. Many thoughts raced through my mind as I stood there. I had but one chance and that was to run. Out through the back door of Roses I ran, out where the horses were tied. I caught a good one, it looked like it could run. Up on its back and away I did ride, just as fast as I could from the West Texas town of El Paso out to the Badlands of New Mexico. Back in El Paso my life would be worthless. Everything's gone in life, nothing is left. It's been so long since I've seen the young maiden. My love is stronger than my fear of death. I saddled up and away I did go, riding alone in the dark. Maybe tomorrow a bullet will find me. Tonight nothing's worse than this pain in my heart. And at last here I am on the hill overlooking El Paso. I can see Rose's cantina below. My love is strong and it pushes me onward. Down off the hill to Felina I go. Off to my right I see 5 mounted cowboys. Off to my left ride a dozen or more. Shouting and shooting, I can't let them catch me. I have to make it to Rose's back door. Something is dreadfully wrong, for I feel burning pain in my side. Though I am trying to stay in the saddle, I'm getting weary, unable to ride. But my love for Felina is strong, and I rise where I've fallen. Though I am weary, I can't stop to rest. I see the white puff of smoke from the rifle. I feel the bullet go deep in my chest. From out of nowhere, Felina has found me, kissing my cheek as she kneels by my side. Cradled by two loving arms that I'll die for, one little kiss and Felina, goodbye. Your sorry eyes, they cut to the bone. They make it hard to leave you alone, leave you here, wearing your wounds, waving your guns at somebody new. Baby, you're lost. Baby, you're lost. Baby, you're a lost cause. There's too many people you used to know, see you coming, they see you go. They know your secrets, and you know this town is crazy. Nobody cares. Baby, you're lost. Baby, you're lost. Baby, you're a lost cause. I'm tired of fighting, tired of fighting for a lost cause. There's a place where you are going that you have never been before. There's no one laughing at your back now, no one standing at your door. That what you thought love was for. Baby, you're lost. Baby, you're lost. Baby, you're a lost cause. Tired of fighting,